Scooter patrol's coming.
Pull over the scooter patrol. Bucks County
Man,
Scooter
I didn't do nothing wrong, man.
Yeah,
Hey guys, and welcome to another fast-paced review video. This one's going to be on the Varla electric scooter, the Eagle 1. Just got it in the mail. It's huge. The box is 4.5 feet tall, and it has a gross weight of 92.5 pounds. Net weight of 77 pounds. Now, I've done a bunch of e-skate videos before, but I've yet to ever own an electric scooter, so I'm super stoked to get this thing out of the box and try it out. Let's tear it. This should be a pretty unbiased opinion and review since I've never owned one of these. It looks like it came very well packaged, no damage to anything, some slight assembly. Ooh, the bell even works, check that out. So I'll get all this stuff out of here. We'll get her together. Oh yeah, she got some weight to her, all right. Quality weight. Get the kickstand. Boom. Spare tire tube. Owner's manual. Inside of here is probably the charger. Comes with a nice tool, which hopefully we can assemble the bike with this too. To fold up the bars, quite simply fold them up and drop this clamp down, and you have to lock these. However, just like on your bicycle seat, if you ever seen this style, you have to snug these nuts down first a little bit. So bring those down maybe 3 turns and then snap that clamp. So you have full adjustability. As this might wear out or break in over time, you can adjust those. And that feels pretty tight and good to me. Nice design there. For the handlebars, we got to take the bridge clamp screws out first. This is 4mm head hex, it looks like. Stainless steel with washers on there too. And we can pull the rest of this off, and look at that. Just spin your bars up, fold them up. You might have to spin your levers down too, but get this centered and put your clamp on. And the tool it came with comes with the 4mm Allen. Once you get the bars positioned where it's comfortable for you, you can tighten down this bridge. Be very careful because these aren't super robust bolts, so you want to make sure to tighten them down all evenly and so that you have even gaps on the front and back. Then get all your other controls where they need to be and snug them down. So it looks like, just Phillips heads on these and Allen's on the brakes. This does have hydraulic disc brakes. Takes mineral oil. Pretty sweet. Excellent. Was able to use the included tool to tighten all that down. So now let's take the key out, turn it on, see what she does. All right, so to power it on, you press the power button for 3 seconds. And I believe that's the battery voltage right there. So we're showing 4 out of 5 bars on our battery, 0 kilometers. I'm sure you can switch that too. So this has 3 gears. The first gear is up to 15 miles an hour. You hit mode for the second gear. And the third gear, which is 25 miles an hour, and then the third gear is max speed of 40 miles an hour. Let's see if we can figure out how to switch it from kilometers. If I hold mode down, that'll probably switch. Oh, okay, so the mode, holding that down actually turns the headlights and the tail lights on. Check out those lights. Wow, those are pretty darn bright, actually. Now, I think that's awesome. This is including lights, because that's actually my biggest complaint with the electric skateboards that I have, is none of them have lights on them. All right, so to turn that off, I mean, whether you're riding at nighttime or not, it's safe to have lights on there, right? And I just looked it up. To switch it over to miles an hour, all you do is hold both these buttons for 3 seconds, and then it gets it into this P menu. But it's pretty incredible. There's 20 items. See, so it actually auto-timed out there. We go back, and I believe it was, P2. You hit mode once, boom. Now it says I got 1 mile. I'm not sure why, because I haven't ridden it yet. But yeah, pretty awesome. It has all those adjustments in there. You can actually change the battery voltage and wheel diameter. Here's a glance at the other grip tapes that came in the box. I think that's pretty awesome they did that. And then these rubber caps, these actually go on the end of the axle nuts. And also make sure to fully charge your scooter up before taking it out the first time. So you just take that plug off, screw this in. Takes around 8 to 9 hours to charge from a dead battery, unless you buy a second charger, which then you can do dual charging, and it only takes 4 to 5 hours to charge. Not bad. And we got the red charging light. We'll come back. Let's see what our charging voltage is. 54.1. About an hour later, we got the green light. Let's go try it out. I just carried this up my basement steps, and something I noticed is there's, you know, you would think you could just grab it by this bar and hold it, but there's no clamp down here for the post. So that's something I'd like to add in the future. I'll have to look into that. But if you plan on carrying this up steps, you better be feeling strong, because she's a little heavy. Fully charged, we're at 58.7 volts, and these buttons here, when this one's pushed out, we're rear wheel drive only. When you push it in, you're all wheel drive. And then the other one, so when it's pushed in, you're on eco mode, and if you want to go turbo mode, full speed, you push it out. So if you're looking to conserve the battery, you're gonna have eco pushed in and leave single popped out. Now, trying out the accelerator for the first time, I just noticed a problem. See that rear rotor? It's pretty bent. So I'll have to shoot them an email about that. Maybe I can just bend it back for today's test drive. I'm gonna pump these tires up too. I set those up to the max, 45 PSI. And this rotor, I was able to tweak it a little bit to get it straight enough to ride with. Make sure you wear a helmet, guys. So far I'm cruising on eco mode, single rear wheel, and 15 miles an hour. It's cruising nice. One thing I noticed off the rip though is these steering head bearings are really tight, and it's affecting the handling dramatically, almost to where I want to go loosen them up. However, I feel like they'll just break in on this ride, so we'll see. I really like this deck. If you can see my feet good, I mean, you can go side to side and ride it like that, or, you know, I've been riding it kind of more like this, and it feels great. But anyway, let's try out the other settings. So I just put it on speed setting 3, but since I have it on eco mode, it still didn't do anything. Let's pop eco mode off, and ooh, all right, that takes off once you do it. This scooter is rated for some off-road, so ooh, yeah, that handles nice over some bumps. And boom, let's try out the dual wheel. Oh, all right, yeah, this thing accelerates super hard on the dual wheel. Woo, little squirrely, little squirrely. We're on full power now. We're doing 30 miles an hour down this path. A little bit of headwind. The acceleration off the line on dual wheel is wicked on this. It'll actually spin the front tire, and I mean, you just get ripping real quick. Oh yeah, love this thing so far. This feels great. Whisper quiet too. Smooth over the bumps. Don't let my voice deter you from believing that. It actually feels pretty good. Varla, baby! Like, this hill's gonna be a good test. You can see that tunnel is probably about maybe 12 feet high, so that gives you an idea of the incline here. This is, I don't think it's gonna make it up this. This is super loose stuff, but we're gonna give it a go. This will be the extreme off-road test right here. Well, I guess not extreme, but let's find out. Oh, yeah, no way. No way, guys. But what you can do is help walk it up a little bit. These wheels just don't have enough traction for extreme stuff like this. How about up here on the train tracks? Okay, it can do this. So it can take the abuse. I'm honestly doing this just to try to break in the head bearings on this. Woo! This is rough, but it's doable. This is how you break your suspension in, guys. All right. Oh god, I just had the front wheel nose dug into the rocks and sent me over the bars. There goes again. So, all right, so yeah, these wheels are way too small for these big rocks. It just dives in and wants to throw you over, but that was fun. Hopefully that helped break in those steering bearings. You gotta just put a little bit more weight toward the rear when you're on this soupy stuff. But boy, that'll give you a headache riding like that. Oh man. All right, let's check these clamps up here. It says after, what does it say? After a long time riding, recheck the tightness of these. And they feel good, so just wanted to check them after that. Let's see if we can make it down the steep incline. This thing puts you up real high. All right, I'm gonna run the rear rear brakes. Oh, we're sliding. All right, definitely need some front brakes. This feels so dangerous, but it's doable. It's doable, guys. All right. Sorry for all the noises. That was just, I'm not used to this scooter yet, so I feel like I'm gonna die at any second, go over the bars, like up there on the tracks. All right, let's get to some pavement. Even on turbo mode, the acceleration modulation is great. I mean, it's just a good feel there. Like, it's not either on or off like some machines are. Now we're top speed at 31 miles an hour. Let's see if I go to single wheel. That didn't really change. Oh, yeah, it did. It's dropping speed a little bit. It brought us down to 25. If I go back to dual wheel, oh yeah, we're picking up acceleration. That'll bring us back up to 32 probably. If you're crazy enough, you can even keep up with traffic on this thing. You just gotta watch for people pulling out in front of you though. Much safer to stay in the neighborhoods. So far we did 7 miles and we dropped 2 bars. I'm gonna grab some lunch. Of course, it's a good idea to get a lock for something like this since it's really expensive. I just sat here enjoying my Wawa hoagie, and I tell you, the height of this deck makes for a great little seat. You know, you don't want to be sitting with the cigarette butts and trash and the salt and all that. One thing this scooter needs is a cup holder though, because I can't bring my $2 any size iced coffee with me, so I'm thinking it's gonna get one, plop her in right there. I did just notice every time you turn this back off, it goes back to gear 1. So you always have to use the mode button and switch back to gear 3 if you want to cruise at a decent speed. You can definitely cruise around fine holding the drink. You just can't really use the rear brakes, but you still got the fronts, so no problem. Top speed going up slight hill is still holding the still 29 miles an hour, and we're gonna go downhill and see what it hits. Here we go. All right, this is 36 miles an hour we hit going down that slight hill. So I'm sure down a bigger hill it would probably do 40. And you know, you run into some gravel, no big deal. We're at 9 miles, and I'm gonna run this battery all the way down. We still got 3 bars, so we'll see how far we make it. So far, I am just super impressed with this thing. The suspension handles over the bumps, really awesome for how much travel it actually has, which is not very much, and for how big the wheels are. Now, yeah, you saw it doesn't do any like killer off-road, like you're not gonna be climbing up mountains and everything, but that's just because of the size of the tires, really. For hitting gravel roads, canal paths, things like that, no problem. This thing's very capable. An important note here, when you are cruising on anything shy of perfectly smooth roads, you want to hold on to these bars super tight, because as you hit bumps, the bars, they can rip out of your hand real easily. I was actually getting kind of comfortable letting loose on them, and when you hit something, they'll rip on your hands pretty good. So you gotta watch out with that. Yeah, just no problem at all over all this super bumpy stuff. I mean, it's remarkably smooth. And I'm used to riding the electric skateboards, and this is just so much better. Like, it might sound bouncy or look bouncy, but it feels completely fine. I'm sitting here trying to hold the camera and get some shots going through this parking lot, and well, it's unlike the electric skateboard. You can't really ride this thing with one hand on rough terrain. On the road you can. Well, I think I'm on turbo mode right now, so that's not helping. But yeah, riding it one hand and trying to hold a camera to vlog, much easier on the skateboard, for sure. Let's see if we can go on this grate without falling. Here we go. This is a good test with these wheels. Oh yeah, no problem on this great bridge. Cruises right over it. Look at that. Woo! Stay away from there though. Don't do this at home. Yeah, see, so for this you need suspension because you got roots growing underneath this tarmac, causing some big hazards. And when you're riding this stuff, you end up putting your foot on the back a good amount to get some extra control. What's up, guys? They say 40 mile an hour, but it only does like 30, 35 down a hill. It's not bad, yeah. This thing does awesome riding across grass. Like, of course, you gotta watch for obstacles, but no problem. I'll tell you, after 17 miles of riding, you get really used to the way this thing handles. I mean, you can grab the bars, swing them back and forth, jump up and down on it. You just get super comfy. And actually, we just dropped off of one bar, and now the screen is flashing. So we're, let's see, we're doing 14 miles an hour. It says E06 is the code. I'll have to look that up when we get home. And I mean, it was ripping forever, and we just dramatically lost power. Yeah, turtle pace. We got about another mile to get home. And we're only doing 10 miles an hour now. Made it about another quarter mile, and now we're only doing 6 miles an hour. Basically just enough to keep going. Let's see if we get all the way home. Yeah, we're still going. It's holding a solid 6 mile an hour, and you can actually sit down on this thing. It probably looks super goofy, but how goofy does this look? Pretty goofy, right? Just trying to be a little bit more aerodynamic so I get all the way home, guys. And that's it. It made it. I'm full throttle right now. You pump it a couple times. You put weight on it and then it's done. So it made it, I'm gonna say, about a mile in the low power mode, which was super low power. And now let's see if I turn this thing off completely. Let's see how she freewheels. See, so this deck is pretty tall. I'm actually 6'3", but you can pedal this thing home. I mean, it's better than walking, I guess, right? It doesn't have very much drag, which I like, because some electric things I've had before, you pedal like this and you get a bunch of drag, but look at that. I mean, that's pretty good. All right, so out of that fully charged battery, we only got 18 miles. However, I was on turbo, dual mode the entire time, just kind of ripping, doing some off-roading too. And I did map my run just after I left, and you can see that says 17.16 miles. So, you know, that's GPS miles. So this thing is fairly accurate. Now, they do advertise this as a 40 mile an hour and 40 mile range scooter, which you can see we didn't get that. I weigh about 180 pounds and I'm 6'3". So I think if you're ever gonna get 40 miles an hour out of this, it's gonna be with like an 80-pound girl on here, or maybe just going downhill. But we were cruising a solid 32 mile an hour on the flats. So I'm definitely happy with that. As far as the range, you know, 18 is a little disappointing. However, I'm sure if you put this on eco single mode and you're maybe a little bit lighter, I bet you probably could get 40 miles out of this thing. So I'll have to find out in the future. I'm sure there's some other videos that have put that to the test though to find out. I wasn't paying attention to the voltage, but you can see it's down to 44.1. I'll go ahead and charge this up, and I will plug in the text right here how long it took. I'm gonna guess it probably take at least 8 hours since she's fully dead. And with that charging, it's up to 44.6 now. I just looked up that E06 code we got, and that's battery under voltage. So normal to see that, I'm sure, when you run her down that low. And I think we'll try and sum up part one of this scooter here. Now, I am gonna do a separate video where we push this thing to the limits and go do some more adventure. And I'll give you my thorough review after riding it, you know, maybe a couple 100 miles. But so far, I am thoroughly impressed by this useful, practical form of transportation. It's a great hybrid in between the electric skateboard and, say, an electric bicycle, both of which are pretty awesome, but this one has its place. It's a little bit more transportable than a bicycle, and it has much more capabilities than electric skateboard. You know, on the off-road, and you can still transport this on a train real easy too. I mean, it's just, it's a must-have if you're into this kind of thing. And this is coming from a guy that loves all forms of transportation. I mean, motorcycles in particular, whether it be dirt or street or the motorized bicycle. Gotta love those things. I did a video riding that up to Manhattan. I'll drop that up in the card here if you want to check it out. But, you know, the scooter, I can't believe it took me this long before I finally got one of these. I mean, this thing is well worth the money spent, and I cannot wait to put some more miles on it. So I'm going to end this video here. I'm sure I'll end up plugging some more clips in the end as I think about things I forgot. But yeah, that's going to be a big thumbs up for the Varla Eagle 1 so far, and looking forward to doing the second part video on this. Thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in another video, hopefully. All right, acceleration test of the Meepo Mini 2 ER versus the Varla Eagle 1. This is both fully charged. 2, 3, go. Oh, blew me away. Shoot, scooter patrol's coming.
Sir, pull over to the scooter patrol. Bucks County Scooter
Man, I
Patrol.
didn't do nothing wrong, man.
Yeah, you're going too fast on that electric skateboard.
I'll tell you what, try to catch me. Catch me if you can. Ah!
Sir, pull over.
Get away
over.
from me. You're gonna eat.
Stop your vehicle.
What did I do wrong?
Sir, I need to see your license and registration for that skateboard.